Good morning, students. How are you?
Good morning, madam.
I'm
We're
fine.
doing fine.
Morning, madam.
Okay, glad to hear that. All right. Is everyone here ready? So, shall we start our class?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Last week we have learned the macroeconomic problem in chapter 14 of our textbook. So, today I want to ask each of you to relate the topic of unemployment with our current situation where the pandemic COVID-19 is still ongoing since last year until now. Our class also has done the report right. So I think there is no problem for you guys to answer. I'll give an explanation about unemployment to recall everything we have learned before I start to ask you guys randomly. So listen to what I'm going to say. First, the definition of unemployment is defined as a situation when individuals who can work and want to work at a certain level of wages but fail to get any job. Unemployment is one of the issues that are often faced by both developed and developing countries and the poor. Unemployment problems usually occur because of the economic situation that experiencing a recession and insufficient employment opportunities because of limited quotas. Now I want to ask you guys randomly, starts with Nizan. Can you give me a further explanation about your analysis of the microeconomic problem or any explanation type of unemployment that you stated in your report? You can give an example and no need to worry. If you don't give me a correct answer, I will explain and correct it for you. At least you try to answer. Okay. Nizan?
Okay, thank you, madam, for the question. Okay, unemployment is defined as a state of time when individual who can work and who want to work at a certain level of wages so as to get a job. The cycle unemployment is a change that occur in economic cycle. An economy many soar at the first, slump and then soar again. The collapse of the aggregate process as a result, entrepreneur on the labor force due the result on entrepreneur uh, to the decline in production in the economy. The continuous reduction of demand for labor will lead to unemployment in the economy. Why physical employment? Because it has a major impact on the entire national economy. The growing economy, however, the effect of the pandemic we are going to make in the opposite where there is no opportunity for workers to be provided to the new graduates to apply a job. Even the competition between a generation X will more competitive. That's all.
Okay, that's correct. The continuous reduction of demand for labor will lead to unemployment in the economy since it has a wide impact on the entire national economy. Nizan, give me an example that is similar problem to playing your idea in Malaysia.
Okay. There is no denying that COVID-19 or the coronavirus epidemic that is plaguing the world today has had has had such economic impact of the world country. Following the increasing rate of infection nationwide, has implemented um, lockdown policy. So the movement of economic sector has been affected, and the main of factor has received serious pressure in the labor market compared to the other factor of production. Globally, as an economic driving, agent is slow, even though in the IT era, it is has the option to work at home. This movement is due um, to the MCO, which has been this limited of the movement across all sectors of the economy, both in the public or private companies. The limitation of the labor movement do not stop at a certain level, but this is growing and interconnected in the way and what is called in economic science circular flow of economic activity. Has disrupt business has disrupt business activity in all sectors of the economy, and business relationship between other country also neighbor less. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Mizan. That is a really good answer. Now, Ian's turn to answer this. Can you suggest what can be done to overcome the unemployment problem? Include an example so that your friends can understand too.
Well, there are many ways that the government can solve this unemployment situation by implement expansionary fiscal policy and expansionary monetary policy into their economic activity. Here's how is it go. If the government implement expansionary policy, fiscal policy, the bank central will increase their spending in order uh, to get consumer to buy some good. By doing that, the aggregate demand will be increasing and also close the deflationary gap. At the same time, the production and expansion will be also be increasing. For example, the government want to cut down the taxes and increasing their spending. Both of these are intended to increase aggregate demand while contributing to draw down the budget surplus. Other than that, if the government use expansionary monetary policy, they'll cut down the interest rate in order to encourage the public to spend their money to buy some goods. And this also will increase the aggregate demand and production. Because of that, the cyclical unemployment rate will be decreasing. As an example, the Batara supermarket are having a big discount sale, and cause many people go and buy the product the product they needed daily. Because of this opportunity, thus the product in Batara supermarket will be decreasing, and so the Batara supermarket will demand even more product to the supplier. Lastly, by a government guarantee letter. During unemployment, the central bank will buy government guarantee letters from commercial bank and the public. This will cause the money supply to increase in the community. Community purchasing power is increasing, and employment opportunities are also increasing to meet the aggregate demand of the community. Thus, unemployment will be reduced. That's how we overcome the unemployment situation.
Okay, thank you, Ain. Both of you understand what I just said?
So far, yes, madam.
Me too.
Okay, so next, Iman, what do you know about unemployment in other countries due to COVID-19? Do you think only Malaysia experience this right now?
Yes, madam. Thank you for question. I think not Malaysia only. Also, outside country also, because there is no denying that the COVID-19 virus has spread widely in the country and abroad. The most significant to drastic decline in the financial sector and unstable economy and the growing unemployment. One of the developed country is also experienced the same impact that Malaysia is facing at the moment, especially in Japan and Chinese. We know that in Japan, since the issue COVID-19, the unemployment rate has increased at the rapid rate and record the highest and record the highest record. The second large economy in the world is Chinese. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the unemployment rate had risen to 6.2%. The figures for the survey urban unemployment rate are generally higher than the quality published figures for officially registered unemployment in Chinese. Thank you, Madam.
Okay, to conclude this, I want you to explain what you have learned from what we just discussed. So what did you learn?
Yes, Madam. Based on previous class and based on observation in class, MCO issue transmissions COVID-19 will affect our economic country, such as sales and reduce the export. These days, many people feel uncertain about the future. The unemployment rate increased compared than the previous year before. If the economic downturn increase, it will increase the poverty rate and total unemployment in our country. By 2021, our economic country start to recover and government for development try to reduce unemployment on the
Okay, thank you, Iman. Unemployment in Malaysia is relatively small and steady at about 3%, means that the country is close to full employment. Yes, in 2014, the country reached its lowest unemployment rate at 2.85%. The industry has been a major contributor to GDP, generating around 30% of job prospect at the moment. Although more than 50% of the services industry generates GDP, given the strong and growing economy in the country, the average GDP per capita is also growing at an increasing rate. However, given this optimistic figure, the majority of job applicants and 300 unemployed are mostly young people, including students and non-graduates who have difficulty entering the labor sector. Therefore, the Malaysian government urged businesses for employment opportunities to remain open to young adults. A positive economic climate will be beneficial, but there have also been some domestic concerns about unemployment and gender inequality. So all of you understand what we have discussed in today's class, right?
Understand, Madam.
yes, Madam. So far clear.
Yes, Madam, I understand too.
Okay, thank you, class. If you have any question, you may WhatsApp me personally or in our group class. Class dismissed. Thank you.